Oops. Hello, living in Boulder vlog. It is October 1st, 2019, Tuesday at 9:22 a.m. My tongue is bone dry. I'm pretty high. I got high maybe like a little bit ago. Can't remember, but yeah, just about to be out of reefer. I just have a little bit of shake left. So like, I think I have to buy more. My roommate was buying some off me. I have some more candies though. Maybe I should just eat candies. I had a candy before. So it's like early in the morning or late in the morning. It's 9:23. So I think I'm gonna try and go to sleep. Definitely have a break. I was working on this page, fighter level page, and then I can't remember how I got it started, but it was a few hours ago. Spent a lot of hours on it. I was like, yeah, I need to get the ads off my website. I think I got all the ads off. I just never got them off. I never got around to it. It used to be kind of a thing that was in the back of my mind, like, yeah, I really should get those ads off my website. And then it just faded away. And then I remembered and I was like, oh, that's right. And it took me forever. I had like a million ads on my website. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I was like, ads, woohoo. And I was doing that before I even made any money on ads. So it's crazy because I never made a single penny off my website. So now that, God, I'm so glad I have those goddamn ads off. It's crazy because I go to my analytics page and it's like, yeah, you made like $1,000 this week, man. $2,000 this week. I'm like, who's making $1,000 a week off my website? It's the most confusing shit. They actually, I was on because I like to go to analytics just to see like how many hits my website gets, um, just because it's something I like to do, and it said I went there the other day and it said oh shit, I lost my train of thought. It said something interesting. It said it'll come back to me. Oh shit. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, so I guess I'm really high. I had like a candy. So I was working on and got all the ads off, and so that's awesome. And it's because it looks so much better now. It's gonna look so much better now. And then I looked at. I never cease to amaze myself by how like out there I'm actually I am, because there's a few pages. There's the list of things page on my site, and then there's the I think I have a religions and then a religious statistics, and those pages the links aren't done. I never did the links. I never built the links, and I did because I haven't looked at them forever. So I mean, to build those, that is like way easy work. You don't have to think to do that. Um, Before, I don't exactly know when, because I was working on Google Earth when that happened, but like in 20 something, I guess 14, 15, when I stopped working on the website, started working on Google Earth, I think the links work differently. But then when I came back, they're just really simple. So yeah, that'd be easy to do. But the thing is, I don't have the time for it, at least for now. But maybe that'll be something I'll do in a couple of days. But for now, um, um, I'm going to get back to the fighter level page after using like gobbling up half my day yesterday, getting rid of finally all of those ads. It was zillions of ads, and it takes my computer forever because those pages are so big. Um, so I think yesterday I went over to my mom's house. Was that yesterday where we went shopping for food? Yeah. And so the page that I'm working on now, the fighter levels, I'll explain what's going on with that. Okay. Um, so I, I okay, so I'm making fighter level pages for all of humanoids. So that's 3.6, 3.5, 3.8 feet and 6 inches tall. And I guess I'll make that for the ladies are that big, and so the men would be a little bit bigger. But I read that they found stone implements that are for a 3 foot tall person. So, but yeah, I guess 3 foot 6 is gonna be my minimum, and then because that's Homo floresiensis, and they lived until 12,000 years ago. So they found like a bone from 18,000 years ago. So and they're little humans with little heads that lived in Indonesia, and so they're just little miniature humans. You should type it up. They're cute. They've got people. A lot of people have drawings of them. So oh shit, starting to lose my train of thought. Oh yeah, and then it goes up to 12 feet because that's how big Og is from the Bible, and that's like pretty much because I went to a website and I typed mummy because it was never on my site because I never managed to finish it. It was just a list of like all the different mummies that were found, and yeah, the max height of most of them is like 12 feet. A lot of them 12 feet, so that's a good max height. It's like double the height of a human, 6 feet. So, so I need to create, fighter levels, physical abilities for these people. I also want to because my website's all about tying everything together. Like if I get a crazy ass idea, then my philosophy is go ahead and build it now because who knows when the next time you're going to get that crazy ass idea, you might forget about it. And so it's better to just amuse yourself, I mean, because if you get a great idea, sometimes it's fun to just explore. People like to go on their little rabbit holes of exploration on stuff. Well, for me, instead of going on a rabbit hole of exploration, I just make that the beginnings of my page. So I just gather a bunch of data, and then I put it there, and then I know that what I want to do later. And so oh man, I fucking lost my train of thought. I'm like too tired to be doing videos. So oh yeah, so because because my website, something can be the craziest ass idea, and I can always plug it in somewhere on my website because everything that I do is related. So this is kind of like one of the craziest ideas. I want to make a chart of all the big giants, and but why do I want to do that? Where does it plug in? It plugs into my timeline because you can actually believe they really existed, because they existed right here in the 12-foot mummies all over the place and the stories and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm going to have to figure out a way to explain it into reality and like what really happened. There's certain rules, like the big people go from north to south, just kind of like the barbarians go north to south, because that's where their frosts happen that push people down, and people are bigger in the north. Bears are bigger in the north, tigers and stuff. So so that explains the whole. Anyway, so you can make all kinds of stories, and that's what I'm really looking forward to, putting a timeline to it and creating them, and all the and explaining all the different people from all the different dimensions, because I have to get from 7 feet, like the max human, all the way up to 12 feet, and that can't exist just one species. You can make a few different species. Oh, so I was exploring how there are mutations, and I'm surprised that I haven't heard this from geneticists and evolutionary biologists, but it makes sense to me. There's natural selection, but then there's a whole different level of natural selection that I don't think people talk about, and that's natural selection via like sudden mutations that are caused by mixtures of species that are caused by various environmental factors. For example, how I think it's called the Grolar, the grizzly bear, polar bear mix is starting to pop up because the grizzly bears are being pushed south, and they're starting to mate with the grizzly bears. and they're making a new species. And so I was reading about all these different, I didn't completely read that. I think maybe they can mix other bears too, but I was reading about all the different felines that you can mix together, and I think there's a whole nother list of the little felines. So maybe I'll include the little bitty felines too. I think I will, as well as the big ones. Because today, I was looking at all the different big felines. I'm sure most people have heard of the liger. It's where the mother is a tiger and the father's a lion, and they're bigger than tigers and lions. It's a new animal, and they can have babies too. And so, anyways, there's like zillions of different. You can mix all those animals, most of those animals, and so there's like all these different ones that I was collecting, and they have different sizes. And so I'm going to plug in all of the different effects of all the different mixtures of different felines, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use that. This is fucking brilliant, as a template for the missing hominids, because hominids have species dimorphism. If you're gonna take into account the giants, they go up to 12 feet down to 3.5, and it's the same exact dimorphism as lions and bears. Bears get up to 12 feet tall. Lions get up to 12 feet tall, same size, and then the little ones get down to little bears. Some bears almost like 3 feet, and just like the humans, and then the little cats get even smaller. So. It's like the same dimorphism. So why not use the little lions as the felines as a template for what happened with humans? And so for example, you create a phantom imaginary humanoid species from the past that would represent lion, and one would represent tiger, and then you have them mate, and then it creates a person that's even bigger, and so that's where the giants come from. It comes from, when two separate species came together, then they create the giants. And so that explains, that's natural selection, but it's natural selection accelerated, because if whatever's created, and I don't know why it would do that, why they would make it bigger, maybe genetically it figured, both if they're mating, that means something's wrong, they're both in trouble. So maybe you need to do desperate measures and make something extra big, because that would make it survive better if it's extra big. But some of them are smaller, so maybe there's some kind of genius, rhyme and reason to it from nature. But anyway, if we see it happen in cats, then why not make it happen with humans? We know that. Neanderthal and Homo sapien interbred, and Denisovan and Neanderthal, and Denisovan and human interbred. The Melanesians have 8% Denisovan, and white people have 1 to 4% Neanderthal, and so there was all kinds of other. We know that there's all kinds of other hominids too that we just haven't found yet. It's like the more we dig, the more we find. Just make up stories like that, and that actually explains it. It actually makes a lot of sense in terms of how evolution works, because if a certain kind of person emerges that's physically different, and it's exactly what you need, then they would take over, and you can trace a lot of the those growlars to one polar bear that went down, and people in historical tales trace entire tribes, and they call even entire races of people to one person, who goes out and happens to multiply because they happen to have a characteristic that is that much more advantageous. It's kind of like a superstar athlete. They have some kind of special talent that makes them worth $20 million, and then they can win the Super Bowl 3 times or something like that. So these mutations, that's how new species emerge. They can emerge suddenly and quickly. It's not like this kind of like accidental, tiny little mutations that happen, and then like now the fingernail's a little bit longer, and no, they can happen faster because that's when different catalyzed by two species that can interbreeding and creating something. So yeah, because the liger is not the only thing. In fact, I was reading, if you mix a liger with the second generation liger, it's even bigger than a liger. You know what I mean? So I want to make a story with hominids that parallel that exactly, animal to animal. So for example, there's going to have to be something that represents tiger, something that represents lion, and then something that represents liger, and then something that represents the liger. I don't know I can't remember what that's called. And that's going to be all humans. And then you make a story around it. And so with all the cats. And because cats and bears and humans work the same way with the dimorphism, so why not with the mutations? Because we don't know what happens when you mix humans with another humanoid, because we don't have other humans to mix us with. But we know that it happens, and it can create halves. A lot of people they found had actually grandparents who we're talking about Homo sapiens, humans like us, had grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-great-grandparents who were Neanderthals. So we're interbreeding really quick, so we were doing a lot of interbreeding with them for a while. Neanderthals were going extinct for about 3,000 years, from 40,000 years ago to 37,000 years ago. So in that 3,000 years, I think they were probably encroaching in and creating kind of like a new race, and then just eventually got mixed in with the white race. So that's what I'm up to. There's so much to do with my website with fixing the links, but I feel like, oh my God, I could fix the links on those pages that I made a long ass time ago, and computers were slow. They took me so long to make. I could fix the links on those in like a day, like the whole damn thing, which would make my website so much better. Because when my website's going to get fired up when you can do the links, because my website is so damn big that it's kind of like, it's like you can take advantage. It can be a sum greater than the result greater than the sum of its parts. The interest of it can increase exponentially, because not only does it have all this information, but now you can connect all the information, and it's all fluidly, and all the links work. And that's going to be really cool, because for me, I don't have insights as to how I can improve my website until I'm bouncing around on it, because I'm too busy trying to fix stuff that I don't have the time to go and have creative development on it. So when I can do the links and bounce around, that's when I keep fixing, and then it's like, yeah, maybe I can get it really good. I was having some interesting insights with my timeline or website the other day, because I'm here. I have Dreamweaver, and so I make these, the way that I work, and everybody's used, I've never seen a single advertisement for Dreamweaver or hear anybody say they make a website with Dreamweaver. It's weird. Who makes websites with Dreamweaver? Because I know big companies don't do it, and it seems like personal people don't, because they use Squarespace and I can name all of them because I hear them advertising, and they advertise on people's YouTube channels all the time. It's Squarespace, Wix, and they're like these easy ones where you just you use other people's templates, which doesn't, and I haven't experimented with that much, but it doesn't allow for any personalization with Dreamweaver, like what you can do, and it's perfect for my style. But what I do is really simple, and it's easy as hell to use. So you know what I mean. It seems like just as easy as the other ones. But I just make these tables, and then I can make the table a certain color, and then I can put tables next to each other with different colors, and then tables in tables. So this is color, and then that's the color, and then you can see the color of the table that it's inside of from around it, and then with the all the columns, and then the words with the different fonts, and so it's is maximum use of space and color, so that you can practice with your speed reading. So this is what I'm thinking, because I'm doing all this really fast. That's what I'm cutting and pasting, and I'm moving around. So it kind of gave me the impression. I remember when I saw this movie called, what was it called, Minority Report, with Tom Cruise, from like 2003 or something like that, where it's in the future, and they're called like precogs, and they had these like psychic women or psychic people like floating in the water, and then they would like see stuff. But anyway, there's this scene, and Tom Cruise is here like, doing his computer screen because it's the future, and he's like, and I think there's other movies like that too, where they're dragging stuff, they touch it and they drag it and they move it, and they can create stuff like that really fast. And that's kind of what I feel like Dreamweaver is, the beginnings of that, because I'm dragging stuff around. I'm like grabbing this and I'm moving it, copy paste, move it, and then you drag it, move it here, and then, oh, you want that there, and then you cut that out, and it's like, well, imagine when computers are, see, we're limited on what we can do because of the speed of the computers. People keep talking about people like to talk about AI. Oh, AI computers are getting fast. Well, what really is going to be interesting to me is when computers because they're getting faster and faster and faster, and they're still slow. Like, I still have problems with my computer crashing and being slow, but it's so much faster than it was before. But when it is super fast, which it will be in a few years, it's like I'm thinking to myself, because I'm fast. I'm thinking to myself, and the computer's as fast as me. It's like you could build so much. You could build whatever you want as quickly as you want, because you're literally like, because making a website is like grabbing blocks and just throwing them on top of each other. And if you already know what you want it to look like, and your computer's fast, then you just build it like so fast, like there's nothing stopping you from building whatever you want. Like, for example, if I wanted to build what I'm building now, like the whole history of the whole entire world, like my timeline, in the future with a fast computer, I could have built that in like a year, the whole thing from start to end, or less than a year, because you're just like, it's all about how fast the computer is. And so, because you can type fast, if people can type as fast as you can talk, then you can drag and type and create, blocks and drag and drop, whole paragraphs from stuff and just piece it together. And so that was the impression I was getting today. It was pretty, it's trippy. So yeah, I'm super interested in seeing how scientific, like, I think I created a word called scientism, where it's actually explaining how you came to a conclusion. It kind of fills in the missing gap in science, because too much of the time you have scientific people who like don't want to talk. You know what I mean? They're like, I don't know. They think they're too smart for you, or they have like social problems or something. I don't know what it is, or when they talk, they just want to like give you numbers or whatever, and they're like really, but they can't. They don't seem to understand what they're saying. They're just giving like numbers from their experiment or whatever. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have people who don't know what the hell, anything works. They have to make like wild guesses, like, oh, that's like 50, I don't know, 120 miles, I don't know. So anyway, so scientism. So what I want to do is like do something like where you explain exactly. You'd be like, hey, the dog can, or a 7-foot person, 500-pound person would take exactly 30 seconds to beat up a 6'6", 300-pound person. But then you put in all the other factors as well, like who has this guy who's fit and that guy who's not fit, and this guy has skills, and you add all the numbers, and then you make an actual point system. Like, I guess, I don't know if video games have done that. I know video games have like people hit this and that, but I don't know how scientific they are, because the video games say that that a 12-foot tall person weighs 1,600 pounds, and like a 12-foot tall person, that's 8 times heavier than a 6-foot tall person. You don't get exponentially heavier as you get taller. You get lighter as you get taller. Like, a 7-foot tall person is only like 250 pounds. It's supposed to be like that. And so, I don't think they're thinking that all that scientifically all the time. I mean, I know that I got the video game, the car racing Forza on Australia, and they just created a Australia. It wasn't Australia. They called it Australia, but they just created their own roads. So, so yeah, I think I could make like a program in. You could turn I want to make into an actual video game because I already programmed it, but only scientifically. So you explain it because now you have something to talk about. Food for thought. You have like somebody can. I should set up a forum and people can be like, hey, you know what? I think the weight should be more of a factor here. I think that skill would be more of a factor. You know what I mean? So, or people, just copy the code and build their own, and then people have discussions and then share their own charts and stuff that they make. So yeah, I love my little rainbow crystal language that I have because everything, like whenever I want to make something, I know exactly how I want to design it. So when I'm going to go try to take a nap now, but when I work again, I think I'm going to do these. Yeah, I did the cats, and I'm going to do the bears, all the different bears there are. I might do apes too, because they have a lot of size difference as well, and the biggest ape is 12 feet tall as well, Gigantopithecus. And I don't know if you can mix apes. I was gonna look, but but that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna finish the cats and the bears and all the data farm and organize the information on my website. If you look at my page, fighter level page, you're just gonna see a bunch of words and copy and pasted letters and stuff. So what I need to do is go in there and just condense it all. Like how a star collapses in on itself. I need to collapse all those words in on themselves, and put them into the lists, and so that I can then, I guess, assign fighter levels for them. I haven't thought about how I would do that because animals work at a little bit different worlds than humans because they have sharp ass teeth and claws. And humans don't have that. Then that'd be like, what does that mean? You're gonna give the human a knife, or something, or then you just put the human in a fight suit, and then you have the animal can claw and bite at you as much as he wants, but he can't hurt you. And so at this point, it's just wrestling. So that's probably what it is, because you hear stories in the Bible of guys who killed animals by wrestling them and stuff. So, like lions. So maybe because in the past they had people were dressed in leather and maybe they had some good well-built leather suits, armor suits, where they could actually fight a cat, if you're as big as it is, and maybe that's another proof that there was giants in the past, there's people big enough who could kill lions, You don't believe it now, but, well, if you're big enough, you could. Anyways, dang, I've talked almost half hour. Well, it's kind of jazzed about finally getting those ads off of my website. Yeah, I'm not going to put ads on my website until I hit 100,000 page views a month, because they said that they're going to accept me into AdThrive, make money. Ooh, yeah. And then put those ads on, but I don't know when that'll be. Yeah, I'm going to hit it with this whole fighter page, and hopefully I will be work on it for a week, and hopefully it'll be hopefully it won't be a total fucking disaster at the end of the week. After working on it in a week, because I might have to just put another week in. I might just put another week in, 3 weeks or whatever. That would be awesome to get a page finished. I still don't think I have a single page on my website that's actually finished, because I was looking at every single page on my website today when I was taking off all those damn ads. I did check out every single page on my website. And I don't think a single page is done. And so I would love to just polish a web page, but it's not that big of a deal, because I love it when I get a new idea. I had a new idea here with these animals, and making the template for the humans off of the lions, and then make a whole story off of it. Lots of stories. Anyway, that's enough. Under a half hour later.